MML offers lots of educational opportunities. This year we have 68 sessions for them to choose from, so there's a wide variety of topics that they can learn and take back to their towns.
I think just about every city faces the same problem, and that's growing demands and not enough revenue. So you always try and look for increasing revenue streams where you can. Roads are a priority as well. It's just trying to find the funding.
What's the link with economic development and infrastructure?
Well, I personally believe that economic development and infrastructure go hand in hand. People, when they want to locate a business somewhere and they want to move there, they're going to move their family there. And they want to see good roads, parks, recreational activities, and things like that that can help their family prosper. So when you do one, they kind of go hand in hand.
How valuable are these educational sessions that MML offers? What have you learned here over the years has made you a better mayor?
Definitely invaluable. I mean, just the amount of knowledge that you get. First of all, I always tell the new folks, make sure you take the legal and ethics class because they'll keep you out of jail. And that's one of the more important parts. But you learn a lot of networking. You learn a lot of different kind of ins and outs of way to do things and get different things done. But really, it can't be underestimated the amount of networking and talking to other people, because most problems you have, somebody else has already solved somehow. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
I participated in professionalism in the police department. I learned that some of the requirements as a part-time certified officer, that you only can pay them a certain amount of money, that they're not required to go over that amount, and that they also have a accreditation that you can go by, is that they have about 135 standards that they should meet that will have you a professional police department. I also took the healthy living for the city of Hazers. I wanted to perform a healthy council in my town and start that. And they're going to take us through workshops and learn us and teach us what is your health council supposed to be and what it's supposed to be out there doing.
How valuable did you find the roundtables?
I find them very, very necessary, that everyone, if they are a elected official, mayor or alderman, should attend, because they are topics that we all will cross eventually.
I am a first-time mayor from the city of Morton, and what I've just attended now was the East Central Mississippi Mayor's Conference, as well as I've attended the municipal law, as well as financing so far. And we'll be at this afternoon. I forgot the course that I'm going in, but it will be pertaining to city budget.
I'm a newly elected alderwoman for the town of Myrtle, and I hope to gain insight on ways to help our community join together and grow as a unit, as one.
What have you learned so far?
So far, well, the most beneficial thing I've learned this morning is just some ways to get some grants for our small town. We don't have a large budget. We don't have a lot of money, so it's been beneficial to learn about the grants that are available for us.
I attended the state auditors table. I also attended the community development roundtable. And what I learned is we always learn a lot when I go to the state auditors table. What you can spend on, what the government can, what the municipality can spend, what they can't spend. Today we talked a lot about the reimbursable things, several of the Mississippi statutes that allow you to spend in different areas around the state, even outside the state, which was my interest. There are several different conferences that happen outside of the MML and outside of the state of Mississippi. I wanted to know the policies and procedures or the laws that pertain to that. I'm in law school myself, so it's always interesting to hear it from the legal side. The other thing we talked about was credit cards, the municipality's use of credit cards, which I didn't think that was something that we could do, but apparently there is a statute that allows a municipality, the governing body, to hold credit cards for travel and travel only.
Did you find all these discussions useful?
Absolutely. And every elected official should definitely attend the roundtable discussions, because it gives you more of a one-on-one experience, or one-on-one time with the presenters, rather than sitting in a big crowd. Those are good too, but you're right there up close and personal, where you can ask good detailed questions and get good detailed answers.
It's very valuable. I think every elected official should be attending. You learn different aspects of the state, different ways you can help your hometown, different ways to provide your monies that support your town, education opportunities for not only your aldermen and women, but your mayor, your city council, your city clerk. It educates everybody on the current events that are going on, possible scholarships, and with small towns, that's what we survive on. That's our means of funding our town.
One of the bigger issues we are facing is water, the importance of water in demolition and in keeping our cities clean.
How many years have you been coming to MML, and how valuable are these educational sessions?
These are very good education sessions. They help us to function properly within the law, and this is the third year for me.
What have you come here to learn?
I'm just coming to learn how to operate the towns in a proper manner, for the best of our citizens of Mississippi.
We've got failing streets, failing infrastructure altogether, and we've got some major projects that have been on an emergency list for some time now that just the city hadn't had we're not in the financial position to take care of those. We've taken some steps here recently to try to remedy some of that. But overall, our streets are in dire need of repair and just to make the city more attractive. Somebody said this morning in the general convocation that streets and infrastructure bring economic development, and I agree with that wholly. And that's something that we have to work on, and I think cities across our state have to work on in order to bring economic development to our communities.
How important is this convention in terms of providing education and information for you?
More so than education and information, I think, are relationships. You meet a lot of people and get a lot of new ideas from folks that have maybe done something that we haven't done. So that's extremely important, and just information gathering and knowledge is power. And so to gain as much knowledge as we can to help move our city forward.
I came here to learn things about community development, grant writing, types of grants that are out there for the community. We are a small town, so we're here to learn as much as possible.
Our city is not unlike so many others around our state right now. Infrastructure is a major concern, whether that be an update to our water systems, whether that be paving some of our streets, or whether that be even some sewer treatment facilities. We are always constantly trying to upgrade and update the things that we have. So it is a major concern and a major need for our area, just like much of the rest of Mississippi.
Tell us a little bit about your experience at the convention, and particularly as a learning tool. How important has this been to you as your development as a mayor?
The convention is a powerful thing. It provides an opportunity to network with others who may have been in our position, much like my own, for a longer amount of time. So it's a good place to get advice. It's also a good place to find answers to questions through some of our exhibitors. And it's also a great opportunity to learn some things from some presenters that teach us our classes. So it's a wonderful tool to benefit, especially newly elected officials.
This is my first year, and right now I'm just feeling my way. I'm newly elected Alderman of Sidon, Mississippi. So I'm hoping to learn a great deal so I could take it back to my town and use it and work with it, hoping I'll be able to better my town.
Well, the city of Macomb is not unlike any other city in the state of Mississippi. We're suffering with aged infrastructure, water and sewer, what's underneath our streets, and our streets are in need of repair as well. We're like every other city, we need revenue, and it would be helpful for the cities to have higher diversion possibly. The state might grant that to give us more revenue from the state sales tax or local option sales tax. We've always considered asked the folks in Jackson to help us with that. But to fix our infrastructure, we need revenue. That helps us grow our cities and towns and make the improvements that are necessary. We're having some success in the city and Macomb with new growth, and we're certainly putting those dollars to work, but we certainly need more.
Tell us a little about the infrastructure with roads and highways and the link with that in economic development.
Well, in the city of Macomb, we have a bridge that is out. and we're in the process of having it repaired. But that's just inside our city. But around our county, we have bridges that are out. Transportation, truck transportation, so vital to our economic well-being of our state and our local economies. Move about these roads and cross these bridges, and when they're down, they've got to take a different route, which costs additional money, puts additional cost to the users, to the customers. So it's needed, and I know that our folks in Jackson hear this. Our leaders in Jackson hear this, and we would hope that they would answer the call.
This is my second year coming to this conference. The main thing that I have learned with our water system, that we do have good clean water in the town side. And we just come out of a meeting talking about bottled water, how it compared to our regular water, and that bottled water is just like water they're getting out the ground and putting in bottles and selling. And we do have a good town.
Our town's old, 1860, oldest town in Lee County, and it has some infrastructure problems. We're trying to deal with it best we can. We've also received a few grants that have sort of upscaled it and made it better, but it's just, not enough to complete the whole project. But there's always needs to be repaired.
Tell us the value of these educational sessions. What have you learned by coming to the educational sessions that have made you a better mayor?
Well, I try to go as much as I can, try to learn as much as I can, and try to take the classes that sort of fits our situation in Verona. We're a small town, and we try to provide the services that we need to make lives better for our citizens. And of course, you got to deal with finance and all kind of. Anyway, I try to take as much education as I can, try to make things better.
Before, this is my first time coming to the conference on the coast, and I've gone to the legislative update and the law update, and I have learned many things for my daily duties as city clerk. I've learned new laws for purchasing, and I've learned the legislative updates of things that have not passed, and which has helped me in my daily life.
Actually, we need more revenues and additional jobs. I mean, when you live in the Delta, attracting industries is very, very difficult. But we do need some help in that area. Jobs and creating more revenue.
Tell me, how many years have you been coming to MML, and what have you learned from these educational sessions?
Well, about 24 years I've been coming here, and this is one of the best ways to network. You talk with other council members from different cities, and you learn what they are doing that are successful. And we try to take that back home to incorporate in our city.
Yeah, I came here because it is my first time, and I wanted to learn what was my duties as an alderwoman and how could I best serve the city. So I decided that we would come here and try to learn all that there is to learn about being a city alderwoman.
I attended one of them on the census of local update of census addresses, and it was informative to learn that we do the censuses every 10 years, and that it's to help get money for your town and your city. Bringing in the money helps in a lot of ways. People tend to shy away from this sometimes, but it's very important that you do participate in the census. But it helps your schools in lots of ways, and we really need that. Our schools are really underfunded a lot of times.
How valuable is this for elected officials to be able to come here for 3 days of education?
I think it's very good. It's very insightful. It helps us to learn how to operate our towns in a better way, to help our people. So it's very helpful to come to these meetings.
We've had great attendance, and I think so far everyone's enjoying the educational sessions. We have a great turnout this year, and I've heard nothing but great things about the classes.
If people have questions, like more information, what should they do?
They can go to our website. It's mmlonline.com, and they can call our office, which is 601-353-5854.